What's up, guys, and welcome to the Champions League quarterfinals predictions of 2023. As you guys can see, I'm not in the normal studio setup, and I'm also alone today, or so I hope. I hope there's no one hiding in the background, but at least Hakeem, he's not here today. He couldn't make it because he's currently on an aeroplane to London, so for obvious reasons, he could not be here today. So I'm forced to do this myself, and I guess I'm fine with that. So let's just get straight into it. We've got the quarterfinals predictions of the Champions League 2023. We also just recorded a recap of the round of 16. So if you guys haven't checked that out, it just got uploaded a couple of hours ago. So if you want to watch that after watching this video, it will be up here somewhere, this corner, I don't know. But let's just get straight into it. So the first draw that we got is arguably, it's actually not the biggest one. We got Real Madrid and we got Chelsea. Real Madrid starting at home. And this is a very, very spicy fixture. Of course, Chelsea have been very, very shaky this season, especially after Graham Potter taking charge of the team. They're currently sitting 10th in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure. So a mid-table team at best, really. The thing with Chelsea is that they've obviously got a very, very high ceiling. Like they can be really, really, really good. But the team is like a whole new team. And Real Madrid, they've played together for ages. They've won like numerous Champions Leagues together, and Real Madrid are just the Champions League team. They've got the most in history with 14 of those. And ultimately, I think that Real Madrid will prevail in this fixture, both for how they play, but also just because they are a better team than Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea have some stronger individuals in certain positions, but functioning as a team, Real Madrid is definitely the better team than Chelsea are. And as I said, Chelsea have been very, very shaky. Like, we don't really know where we have them because they sometimes win and they lose games that they should comfortably win. Like they lost against Southampton, they lost against West Ham as well, and then they won against Leicester and knocked out Dortmund. But you know, Leicester, we kind of expect them to win that game, and Dortmund, I mean, it is a Champions League game, so we would also expect them to win that at the Stamford Bridge. But I don't completely rule out Chelsea going through. I mean, if they have their day when they play Real Madrid, I definitely think that they can beat them at least at the Stamford Bridge. But over the course of two legs, I just think that Real Madrid, they will go through. So I'm gonna have them to go through to the next round. Next up, we got Inter Milan versus Benfica. This is a very interesting one. Of course, Inter just beat Porto, another Portuguese side, and they only beat them 1-0 on aggregate, and they narrowly beat them really because Porto had some very, very big chances late on in the second leg that they probably should have scored at least one goal on. And the thing with Benfica is that they are a very, very interesting team. I mean, they play really, really good, entertaining football. The connectivity between the players and everything, I just feel like it's so good. But knowing Inter, they are obviously an Italian side and they are content with just a 1-0 victory. So if they can just get one goal, they will be able to push back and sit back for the rest of the game. With Inter, I feel like they're going to be playing for the first goal, and when and if they get the first goal, that's when they're going to be happy with the result and just fall back and relax and let Benfica kind of like own the play, but also hit them on the counter attacks. They've obviously got pacey wing backs. They've got DiMarco, they've got Dumfries. I still think they have DiMarco actually. The first leg is being played in Italy, so that is also a main reason as to why I think that Inter, they will prevail in this, because they have got all the home fans behind them in the first leg. And if they can get a result in the first leg like they did against Porto, they will just have to sit back the entirety of the second leg and they can just chill. Like if they can get preferably more than a 1-0 win, maybe like 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 maybe, because I do believe that when Inter attack Benfica, they can also maybe get a goal because of the fact that they just don't sit back. And Benfica, as I said, have very great connectivity between the players. But if Inter, they decide to just pull back and sit back, I just don't think that Benfica, they will be able to break through Inter's defense. So I ultimately think that Inter, they will end up going through. And I mean, that's really what I expect of them, but not because they play beautiful football, because I really don't think that they do that. I think that Benfica, they play the more attractive football, but I just think that the way Inter, they play and their strategic setup, I just feel like Inter, they will prevail in this fixture. So I have to say that Inter, they will go through against Benfica. Next up, we got Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. Definitely the spiciest fixture out of all of these knockouts. Now, this is Pep Guardiola going back to Bayern Munich against his old team. So will he prevail? I don't know. By the way, Let me know your guys' quarterfinals predictions down below in the comments to see if we have the same or if you have any different ones, and also let me know why you have chosen the team that you chose. Now for this one, this could go both ways kind of. I feel like the split of what people would say is like 50-50, 55-45 in like each direction really. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it can go both ways. Either City can go through or Bayern they can go through. Now City, I really think, and I said this yesterday on the episode as well, that I'm not gonna say that they are gonna give up on the Premier League. I'm just trying to say that City are obviously way more hungry for the Champions League since they've never won that in their entire history. And if they want to win the Champions League right now, this is the year to win the Champions League, because this is definitely the weakest Champions League of all time really. I mean, there is a guarantee that Napoli, AC Milan, Inter or Benfica, they will reach the final. There's a guarantee of that. So City have obviously got the hardest route along with Real Madrid, Chelsea and Bayern, but one of those four teams will reach the final. So if City, they can just beat Bayern and then beat either Real Madrid or Chelsea, they will have reached the final. And I really do believe that City are so hungry for this Champions League. Also, Pep Guardiola, way more experienced than Nagelsmann, but we all know about Guardiola, his overthinking and stuff. He makes the wrong decisions. He decided to play John Stones in midfield against Leipzig, albeit it did actually work out, but it was against Leipzig, so anything really works out against a German Bundesliga side, unless it's Bayern Munich, of course. I need a reason for them to go through. Who the fuck do Bayern have as a striker? They have Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting as a striker. City have Haaland, Ruben Dias, defender, Akanji, Stones, Laporte. Oh my god, I didn't even realize Cancelo is gonna face City again. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that up until now. I was going through each lineup and I was thinking City, Cancelo. No, he went to Bayern. Yeah, so Bayern, Cancelo. This is a very big game. Definitely the biggest one, not just spiciest one, but also biggest. We got Cancelo against Guardiola. Of course, we don't know what happened between those two, but he is currently on loan at Bayern, but probably will return to City or return and then get transferred away. We don't know, but he will definitely return. I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with this, but I think the City, they will prevail. I think City, they will go through. Bayern, they will get knocked out. And I have my reasons for it. First of all, I'm not biased in any way towards any of the teams. I don't like either of them. But I do like Guardiola a lot. And I hope Haaland, he wins the Champions League. I don't hope City win a Champions League. I said that yesterday. I hope that Guardiola win it. And I hope that Haaland, they win it. So, yeah, basically, I think the City, they will go through because overall I feel like they've got a much stronger side, and I feel like obviously City are a very possession-based team, so they will and they can hold on to possession for a long time, and obviously they do like to regain possession of the ball every time they lose it. So as soon as they lose possession, they like to get it back quickly so they can keep holding possession, and they also have very patient and good build-up play. Like we've seen with other teams that Guardiola he has managed in the past, and they've got the most informed striker in the world right now, Haaland. So I think that he will probably get a couple of goals. I'm not gonna jinx anything, but I think that he will play very well along with KDB as well. As long as Guardiola doesn't decide to do anything stupid like playing Phil Foden at left back, then I think that City, they will prevail. Obviously, again, if we're talking about the coaches themselves, Guardiola has got much more experience than Nagelsmann. And again, as I said, I think that City are just so hungry for this Champions League. Like, that is the trophy that they need to win. They can literally, like, say, screw the Premier League, let Arsenal have the Premier League, and they can just go all in on the Champions League. And I think that that is ultimately what they want to do. Again, I'm not trying to say that they don't want to win the Premier League. Of course, they want to win both. But if City, they had to choose Premier League, Champions League, they would 100% of the time choose the Champions League. But I do feel like, though, if City, they're going to be playing a high backline and they're going to be playing on the possession, then Bayern can easily, and I'm saying easily, hit them with counterattacks. They've got Joao Cancelo, they've got Alphonso Davies, Sane, Gnabry, Coman. They've got some very quick, wide players. And of course, they've got Eric Choupo-Moting in attack. But, you know, he's been all right, you know. But you know what they say about Bayern, you can put any player in the Bayern team. Hey, you could put me up front in the Bayern team, and I will probably score 10 Bundesliga goals in a season. That's obviously just a joke. I don't believe I could do that myself, but that's what people they say. But this fixture is definitely not going to be one that's going to be decided in the first leg. This will be decided over the course of 2 legs. Both legs are very, very instrumental to who goes through and who prevails. And I think that the majority of the game is gonna take place in like the midfield area, because both teams obviously want to attack. Obviously, City, they want to keep possession of the ball, but will Bayern let them? I mean, we don't know, because they also want to attack. They also want to gain possession and move forward. But I feel like City are a bit more patient with moving forward than maybe Bayern they would be. But I still think that City, they will prevail, but I don't think that it will be like a high scoring tie, this one. I think it will be a very, very tactical tie. But that's also what you need. You got two big giants going up against each other. So it is really just all about the tactical side of the game. But ultimately, I do think that City, they will prevail. So I'm gonna have to go with 3 home victories in a row and say the City, they will go through to the semifinals. Last but definitely not least, we've got AC Milan versus Napoli. This is a very, very important fixture as well, because it's 2 Italian teams going up against each other. Obviously, we all know that AC Milan, they won the Scudetto, the Serie A last season, and Napoli haven't won that competition in over 30 years. But they will definitely win it this season though, since they're currently sitting first, and I think they're like 18 points clear of second place. So to say that Napoli want to focus on the league is kind of just not true, because they are already 18 points clear. And that's 6 games clear. Let's say second place, they get 6 victories in a row and Napoli lose 6 games in a row. Then that's 18 points for you if you needed any sort of context. So Napoli are basically 99% guaranteed league winners. And of course, Napoli, they play very, very beautiful football, especially this season right here. And I think that Napoli, they will go through, because AC Milan is just not the same team as we've seen last year. And that's a very different thing that Napoli is from other Serie A teams, that they play attacking football. Napoli, they want to score goals. They don't just want a 1-0 victory. No, they actually want to score goals, and especially in Europe, in the Champions League. I mean, we saw them against Liverpool. I believe they won like 4-1 or something like that. So we also saw it against Frankfurt. They won 5-0 on aggregate. And although AC Milan is a very good team, I mean, Italian people don't really see AC Milan as that big, I feel like. And I feel like the majority of people have Napoli to go through, and so do I. Well, I mean, we already do know who will face each other in the next round then, if my predictions are correct. But I'll leave that up for another video. But in case you don't know, then according to my predictions, it will be Real Madrid versus Manchester City, and it will be Napoli versus Inter. So that was what I meant when I was saying before that either AC Milan, Napoli, Inter or Benfica will 100% be in the Champions League final, which is going to be very interesting. Imagine if Benfica make the Champions League final. That would be fun, and I would definitely root for them if they made the final, because we all love an underdog story. But I think that Napoli, they will actually make the final this season. And I think and I hope that City will do it as well. 1, I love Guardiola. 2, I love Haaland. Again, I don't like City as a club, but I just love those 2 people a lot. Also KDB. So I personally want a City and Napoli final. I don't know about you guys, but let me know your predictions down below in the comments, and I will see you all in the very next one.